You ever wonder what made Jesus so great? Let's talk about it. What's up and welcome back. It's me, Jbaby, and thank you for returning, coming back. I'm at 1,100 subscribers. I appreciate every last one of you, and thank you so much. Like, comment on this, and I'll make sure to shout you out. I want to try something different, man. If you get this far in the video, man, if you are, I say, the 10th subscriber, I would send you a cash app for like $20. But I just want to say thank you. I'm not monetized, do y'all know that? But I just want to say thank you. So back to our topic. What do you think made Jesus so great? I often sit around and think about it. And then as I grow with my own spiritual journey, man, I begin to see like what made Jesus different, in my opinion, is that he thought different. He said things differently. In a time where people had one way of doing things. And like when we look at society right now, man, like it's a one way of doing things. There's these laws, that laws, in each place governing the way someone else came up with and said this is the way life should go. And so when Jesus came around, man, I would think like, why they kill this man? Why was they really so against him? What did he do that was so grave? And all he did was talk. Yeah, he did the miracles that they wrote about. But all he did, in the sense of it, he just talked. He just spoke, said words. But what was in those words that was so powerful to cause a ruckus all throughout the world, you know? And I want to dive into that, man. You know. So in my opinion, man, what Jesus came with a different way of thinking. He had a revelation at some point in his life, or he was the revelation. And he knew we were more than what he knew we were more than what we thought we were. He came to a place and told them, hey, you don't have to suffer if you don't choose to suffer. You do not have to be upset if you don't want to be upset. You choose this reality. You create this thing. You are in control. You are from me. We are the same. And but to a place that's saying like, whatever the way they have it, they got to do what they wanted to. During that time, though, the whole thing where men was the hierarchy, people were slaves, they couldn't read, they treated people a certain way. And Jesus came saying, hey, they can, if you don't want to stay here, stay somewhere else. If you're not happy here, go somewhere else. If you're not happy doing whatever you're doing, do something else. He taught that your imagination is key. What you think you are is what is. If you believe you can be healed, you'll be healed. If you know you can be healed, you definitely are healed. And with that type of thinking, man, I can only imagine that they were like, man, who this dude think he is? What are you talking about? You gonna come up here upsetting the status quo? A slave is a slave. They can stay like that. And man, I often like, when I talk to people, man, sometimes I have to give myself grace because I don't mean to come off as offensive. I'm not trying to be offensive. And anything I say is I promise is never negative. Because I care about everyone. So I never want to come off as negative. But I've had a revelation. The way I look at the world is totally different. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with any way anyone look at it because we all have free will. It just, when I was beginning to think of like consciousness and God and life, I had a revelation that I am God. You are God. We are God. We are God experienced in this human form, this human experience. Don't get me wrong. I'm a black guy. I mean, I'm a black American. I'm from a typical hood like anywhere else. I grew up in church. I had a pretty good upbringing. I love my mom. I love my father. They did everything they thought was right. I don't hate them for anything, but they did what they felt was right, and there's nothing wrong with that. It wasn't that I went somewhere, joined some cult, someone taught me something that I even began to think like this. It was literally where I'm at right now today. I came out here, I was at a low point in my life after I lost my dad, and I began to meditate. I didn't even know anything about meditating, but I did it. And when I did it, man, I had the things I found, the things I learned, I had this out of body experience that, I'll be honest, I would have never thought I could have, or see myself having. I didn't know where I was going to. I just knew I wanted to escape how I was feeling at the time. And I knew I didn't want to keep feeling that way. And I wanted to not feel that way because I didn't like feeling that way. Grieving hurts. It doesn't feel nice. Yes, I love my dad, but I don't like being sad. And I didn't like that I was making other people sad because I was sad. So when I came out here, I didn't even know I could sit Indian style. I really can't. You see how I sit now. But I did it in a way to where like it was comfortable enough for me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't had no back support, but I was set straight up. I was like, oh my goodness. You know, I don't even know how I'm doing this stuff. But I just began to do things that I didn't even know was coming to me. I sat there, I meditated. I didn't know what was happening. I just began to close off my mind. I just began to listen to all the sounds around me. I became more focused on myself. And it's like the darkness got darker, then I saw a light. I remember literally I remember coming out of my body and I could see everything around me in like at one time, which was different. But it wasn't disoriented, but I could see everything all at once. I could feel my presence of who I was, the awareness of who I was. It was like a giant. It was big. It was bigger than my human body. It was like, it goes, you ever seen like one of those cartoon bubbles? It goes up and just expands out bigger than the person. It was like that. That was my awareness. I could literally feel another person that was around right next to me. And I don't know how it was even possible, but I felt it. And I began to see these kaleidoscope of colors. And when I saw it, I'm thinking, what is this? And I began to like hear or feel a vibration. And the colors began to move and shake, and you know, and I can't, like, I know how this sounds. I can understand them. I understood what the vibration was. It translated back to me in English. I was talking to it. I was asking questions. You know, I'm asking like, "This real? My real experience is like, yes, you are here." No, it was talking to me in a way that it knew I would probably understand. Because you can see as I be talking on these podcasts, I'm a little wild, all over the place, but I always mean well. And so doing this experience, I learned so much about stuff that I didn't even know about. My perception of death, my perception of life, my understanding of who I am before here, who I am after here, my experience here, me coming out of this shell for temporarily. And you see the world and you see what it really is. And you see how what we in is, it's a matrix, but it's like living in our bodies, like living in a VR. It's like, but of course we're here to experience and understand, and for us in our understanding, it is real, but it's not eternally real. It's a brief moment. And I gotta say, man, going back to when I went around my family, mostly my uncle and some of my aunts, and I began to, talk and say things that had a different perspective when it came to religion. They all treated me as like I was a devil, and for the life of me, I couldn't understand it. And I was like, well, shouldn't you all love everyone? Should you at least give a person a chance to even speak? They didn't want to hear a lot of my words. They shut me down, told me I was leading the family to hell, and I couldn't understand it. And then so I began to read more of the Bible, and then read the story about Jesus. I see that when he went back to his own town, he could do none of the miracles that he could do, that he did everywhere else, because they saw him one way and they thought of him as, that's just that nigga Jesus. That's just that guy. I'm just that guy, Jbaby. And like, man, and with that revelation, with that understanding, I realized that what Jesus did, he had a different understanding. He had a different thought process. His mind was so open. And just like him, just like me, just like anyone else, when you choose to realize who you are that Christ, you are that Jesus. Like, all my life, I've been in church, and heard different religions, everyone saying, he coming back through the sky. But I can tell you now, that's not going to happen. He's not coming through the sky. He's coming back through you, through each one of us. It's an awakening inside you. And trust me, if 2 years ago, hearing this from somebody like me, look like me, I was like, man, he's gonna bump his head. He's bonkers. But I can't deny what I experienced. I know I drove over here. I know I walked up here. I know I set this camera up. I know what I experienced. I know what happened. I know what I know. I know what I know, and nothing could reveal this to me other than God. How could I know these? How could I know these? How could I think this if it wasn't from the Creator? So I guess it's just a little message I want to send to anybody out there, man. When you're going through life and you're going through your experience, it's nothing wrong to experience life how you experience. You have to get different thought process. You're learning and growing. And just because everyone don't agree with you, don't mean you're wrong. If you know you're coming from a place of love and someone take it as negative, you're not negative. Don't beat yourself up. And I'm saying this because I experienced this. I just experienced it like 2 days ago, today. And I know in my heart I care about everybody. I wanted to love and I wanted to help. But I also understand everyone is not ready for that message. Everyone is not ready to do this. Everyone is not ready to awaken in that sense. But I'm telling you the truth. And whatever religion or way you believe, this is not me. I'm not trying to hinder anything or negate anyone's religion. Go the path that flows with you. Wherever it may take you, find your way. But I do want to let any and everyone know that you are special. Everyone is special. And I always think, and I read the Bible where it says we were made in God's image. If we made in God's image, wouldn't we be an exact clone of who He is? Will He make us lesser than what He is? No. When people have children, do you believe your children are less than who you are? No. So why would our Creator do that for us? So I implore anyone, love yourself and get on your journey. And just because you choose to see the world different does not make you different. You're just experiencing it in the way that Jesus experienced it in. And if anything, you might be closer to Jesus, who Jesus was, or Yahshua, or Christ. But that consciousness, how Jesus was, how He thought, how He taught, what He said, that's in us. That's in me. That's in you. That's in anyone. So I just wanted to come out here, give a little message, and spread love. Oh yeah, guess what? My next one coming out, I have a guest. And she's a great guest. I would say that. And guess what? I'm in a big studio. So stay tuned, look out, and I appreciate everyone for checking me out. If I said something you like that helped you, or you love, or if I did anything to touch you, like, comment, subscribe. Also check out my shorts and check out my web series. Thank you very much. One love. Remember, vibe high, resonate high, stay high, and I'm always a reflection of you. Holla. Jbaby out.